Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Super excited you guys are here. I didn't set up this tripod properly ahead of time, so I trusted my assistant to do that, So welcome to the live stream. For those of you, yeah, it's you. You're the assistant. So we got a lot of questions coming in. This is really good. Welcome. Hi, Diane. That's really nice that Diane's here. That's really good. Okay, we're waiting for our special guest to join. They should be joining momentarily. If you have questions for the special guest, go ahead and pop them. You have to push the question button. There's a question button right there. Make sure you push that. Let me just see if I can find where our person is. One sec, guys.
My mom was very popular last week. I got a lot of messages about they loved her questions.
Oh, there she is. Okay. Request for this person to go live with us. In the meantime, we're going to go through a few housekeeping rules. So first off, if you're
Am I sitting here? Or am I sitting?
All right, we are moving places.
We're back.
Okay, cool. She's here. So
she's here.
Go there ahead and we're waiting for you. Wait, hold on.
So a few housekeeping rules. We have since Archie bunkered the stairwell. For those that have asked, it's white now. Isn't it nice?
Yeah,
Violet.
We got a different
Thank you, Pinterest.
Stairwell color.
Thank you to the amazing painter Nelson.
Oh! Whoa,
hey!
Yes! Welcome to the show.
What's up?
What time is it there? What time is it?
It is 7:30 a.m.
Girl, you look good.
Hi.
Did you did you just wake up, or you're not, or you just this glamorous all the time in the morning?
Okay, let me. I have to tell you a secret. So it's cold season now, right? And it's all right. It's cold season, right? But I literally this morning when I woke up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the shower. Let's pray for some hot water. And then I spent another 2 minutes trying to put more water in my face so it looked like I'm really.
You look good. Well, I watched a YouTube thing, and this woman was, no lie, 2 things, slapping your face. Have you seen this? This is apparently Jessica Alba's thing. And cold water.
I've seen these things.
Anyway, so I was slapping my face. The cold water, and I love the cold water. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So for those people watching who don't know who you are, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Monique.
And what else is that?
What part of New Jersey
I'm
are you
from Jersey, from Jersey, and that's pretty much it. I'm living in Myanmar right now. I know you guys. Going. And I'm enjoying a bagel, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What makes bagels in an environment where everyone mostly eats rice, I think?
This is exactly why I made bagels, because everyone eats rice. I've been craving bagels since this whole lockdown situation, and I found the perfect recipe, and it's been making my life happy.
Are you making your own bagels? You're making your own?
Yeah, make my own bagels. No kidding.
Dude, a lot of respect. I did that because you boil them and then you bake them, the whole thing, or how are you doing it?
No, I do the whole boil and bake. Yeah, because I found this thing. It was in the New York Times at one point. It's if you want to make really good, gooey New York style bagels.
Yeah.
And found it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I love it. I made bagels a few summers ago, and we had this like amazing plan where we would go to the beach and like eat bagels that I made and whatever. And then it poured rain because that's how Jersey does it in the summer. But then we like hung out with Frank and Claudia for the day and ate bagels, so it was like good. Like it was all worked out in the end. Like we had amazing return visits, and like Frank and Claudia, and I was like salty in the backseat, and Claudia was just like, "It's okay," and I'm like, "I know, because I'm with you, so that's why it makes it so much better." But it is work.
Bagels make everything so much better. I really decided that this happens in life, and it's about bagels. Yeah, it's true.
Beautiful. So, Myanmar, do you have a Myanmar or Myanmar? Myanmar?
Burma?
Yeah, whatever.
Burma.
Myanmar, tomato, Burma.
Do you have a map up for her or no?
No, we're not.
I thought he was going to do a map.
That would be really smart. Okay, for next time, we'll get a map.
So Myanmar is in between, India, Thailand, China, closer to Vietnam. It's right in the middle of all those.
The sliver, right? Little sliver? It's like a sliver.
It's kind of big at the top, and then it gets skinny at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. We were actually within a few hours of there last year. We weren't able to link up, but we'll be back in that part of the world at some point in the future.
It was a year ago. Because you had the I think I talked to you, but you had gone to the regional.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember? And like we came in and we just didn't meet each other, but
That's right.
we did meet an amazing couple who live in Chiang Mai though. So if you ever get over and you want to meet an amazing couple who are like learning Thai and Paula and Chris, so wonderful. I don't know.
Never allowed to leave the country again.
Yeah, right. Well, then there's that exactly. So whenever I like sent them a message today and in like the West Coast, and I was like, this is this restaurant that I was like reading about. I want to go, and then I was like hashtag one day, like because right now it's just like we don't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty much like
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and we also have some pictures and some other topics to get into, so it's going to be good. Let's start with a picture instead of a question. Why don't you tap the little picture button at the bottom right corner?
Okay, we have some live stream pictures coming in.
No.
I see. There's questions. Why are you there? That's a good question. And then also for Jehovah, why do we do anything? Okay. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, this is nice. We like to start with. We always love a good note on Friday night. We have our elders meeting. Tell her she misses us and loves us. Friendly reminder.
That's from Oscar.
I don't know, but isn't that nice?
That's
It's from Oscar. That's so sweet. Like, isn't that sweet? Like, who doesn't love a beautiful note like that on a Friday night?
That is really sweet. Thanks, Oscar.
Thank you. Let's see what else is coming through. All right. Oh, here's another one. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's a 2-point. Hold on. We'll come back to that one. We'll come back. We'll come back. All right, let's go to the top of the list. Hold on. All right. What is your favorite Myanmar food? Oh, that's cool because we started with the bagels.
My favorite food here. It's really hard. There's this thing called onok khao. It's like coconut noodles. It's amazing. It's probably my favorite thing to eat here. It's really, really good. Except I have to
from coconut
food now all of a sudden, and so I can only have it if it doesn't have the fish sauce thing in it. Go figure.
Really? That's what.
Wait, so they're noodles made from coconut?
No. So the base of the soup part, the base of that is coconut, like a coconut milky type of thing. Yeah. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. I love it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Is it rice noodles?
It's basic. You can have it with rice noodle, or they can make it with like wheat noodles or whatever the case is. But it's pretty good. Yeah. But there's Cajun food, so it kind of there's it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's hard to say which one. Yeah. There's this other thing with fried potato balls. It's amazing.
Do they put like? Is it with meat, or is it? Do you feel it's like more vegetarian there, or do you feel it's more?
So the coconut noodle thing it's totally vegetarian. Yeah, I'm not vegetarian, but it is a lot easier to just eat veggies here because like
we found that last year, like too in Thailand, like that like. You know, I'm weird with meat. Like it's like I'm not like a adventurous eater even here. Like my mom would be like, "Don't go there and eat that." I'm like, number one, I wouldn't eat that here, so I'm probably not gonna. No offense, if that's your, we can go to another country and eat that.
Exactly.
So, we kept it like chicken and fish, chicken and fish right there. So, but the vegetable meals were amazing. Like the pad thai with like just the rice noodles and the peanut and the vegetables. Like there were some incredible vegetable dishes that we had and it was wonderful, and it's like not that expensive and it's delicious.
So I had some glass noodles, and I do not like glass noodles. I learned I like how they have Thai noodles here, but there just like didn't sit right. But I definitely ate a ton of beef there, and I don't eat fish, so I skipped all that. And I don't like the fish oil because fish sauce, that's not for me either. I skipped right over that. But other than that, the food there was excellent. Yeah.
Let's. I wasn't allergic to seafood. Like this is an allergy that I've developed, and I just didn't realize it until one day. Like this lip. You ever see that movie Hitch? I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like where there's like a side of you that gets swollen. Yeah. So.
You were there. Like what is happening?
Do you have Benadryl there?
So I do have Benadryl, but can I tell you something really embarrassing? So like I know that I'm allergic to seafood, but when I went to the Philippines for the international, I'm like, I have to have something, right? Because, some friends, they took us out. So anyway, they're like, we want to take you out to a really nice restaurant. I'm like, oh, great. I always accept food. We get there, it's a seafood restaurant. But the thing about it is that you have to actually go and pick your food, right? And I'm like,
oh cool.
this is crazy, but I'm also afraid of fish, but I'll tell you about that another time. So anyway, crab legs.
Was it like the restaurant though where it's like just the tanks? Like you need to, I took photos of this where it's like the tanks and you walk in, you're like, I want that one and that one. And families are like picking their fish. Yeah.
So
it's
they
wild.
have and they're kind of attached to this market. It was the weirdest setup I've ever seen. So I told the sister, hey, you pick it out because that stuff freaks me out, but I'll eat it, you know, as long as there's no heads and stuff like that. Anyway, they come back and they have these huge king crab legs. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm allergic. I'm just going to eat one. Just one. So I'm eating it right and I'm all super happy. So then this brother, I don't even know him. He was just a friend of the family that took us out. He's like, hey sis, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He was like, what's that? So I'm like, I take my napkin. He's like, no. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, I'm allergic to seafood too. And I'm like, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. I looked in my mirror and my lip, like this side of my lip was just like,
no.
So the brother, like, he slipped me a Benadryl, and I'm like, okay, this is. And so the moral of the story is like, don't eat it, even if you love it.
Or travel with Benadryl and risk it.
I mean, did you take photos?
Yeah.
You don't have to take photos, it's fine. Be like, but that is definitely a hitch moment.
Actually, you know what? I do have a video clip of another time. I can send it to you later, though.
So you're like, there was another time where I ate seafood and it's delicious. And I love it.
But this time it wasn't on purpose, though. I know. But.
Dan is giving direction, not clearly, but he's giving direction. Hold on, he wants to take a photo. In here, is this where we're going?
Yeah.
Here, hold on.
What are you doing?
All right, pick one of those.
Here we go.
All right, where is this? What is this?
Oh, that is a hike. So I like hiking, guys. So it's it's a mountain between here and where I used to live, Alcanal or something like that. I forget the name of it. Yeah, so I was on a mission to make it to the top. Like, a lot of people like to hike, and I'm like, I'm not going to hike unless I can go all the way to the top. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really amazing. The views were just crazy. The views were amazing.
Your hair looks incredible, too, in this shot. I love the hair, the angles of your arms. It's fantastic. Another photo?
Let's go to another one.
Okay, and, by the end, you
this one?
In the bottom left corner, there's a...
I'm learning iPhone slowly. Excuse me. Hold on. Okay. We're back. All right, so let's go to the questions here. Let's see. Okay. Is there COVID there?
Yes. So initially they were saying that it wasn't here, right? Like there were a lot of interesting things that the Myanmar newspapers were saying. It's like, oh, it doesn't exist here. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom. So now it's like, I don't know, over 100,000 cases, which I mean, in comparison to the States, is not that bad. But, it's a small country with like -7 hospitals, right? So it's pretty bad.
It's all relative because there was a lot of that here. So 8 million people, and then there was a lot of like, it doesn't exist. And now the hospitals are at max. So
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of very fascinating articles. To read.
We're just in the house. I've been in the house since April, actually. Like, for real.
No way.
No, for real. Mm-hmm.
We've all been in the house since April.
Yeah, no. I didn't know. No, but I didn't know the lockdown was that long for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Wow.
Yep. I've been in the house since April.
Well, thanks for doing this. Is fun. This is safe.
No,
this is
cool.
hanging out.
We've also been in the house.
We've been in the house too for months.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this, because we've been here so long.
How are your parents? Send them love from New Jersey. That's beautiful.
Hey, that's really sweet. Who's that from? Yeah, I will. They're doing good. They're in lockdown too. Just everybody's in the house, zooming it up.
How far are they? Are they in the same vicinity? I don't know.
6 hours. Right?
So they're 10.5 hours south of me.
Oh.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I haven't seen my parents since last February. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because the way the lockup is set up here, they can't travel here. Even if they can, I'm not allowed to accept any guests inside my place, right? So
right.
It's mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
apologies for not being able to send you snacks, by the way. So every week, if you're watching this, what we do is we eat snacks together on the live stream. I found out what snacks you like, and then to ship them there, I went on Amazon, I put your address, and it was like, no problem, put them in my cart. And then I went to ship it, and it was like $160 for shipping. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous.
No.
And I didn't know how long it would take. It could take like, what,
I
2
take
months?
like if I don't even get it,
Yeah.
I'd be really disappointed. But look, guys, really, this bagel.
She made a bagel.
I mean, no, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
We
Look
can't
at bagel.
coordinate it. We don't have any bagels. But I was thinking, oh, I'll just go down to CVS or something or the ShopRite and buy some things and then mail them to you. But I also didn't think that would make it. I feel like customs would be like, oh, like peanut butter cups. I love peanut butter cups. Or something
all
like
my
that.
hands. I would literally cry. You know, they'll knock on the door with an empty bag. I'm like, I know that there was something in here.
You're like, I can smell
It's
the
really depressing moment.
Yeah,
in your
I smell
car.
the peanut butter on you. And by the way, when you gave me your address, which was hilarious, you were like, oh, you have to just put this random street corner and then they'll call me when they're outside. And I was like, really? And you're like, yeah, just put down this address.
Yeah.
It's close enough. They'll call me. And
Yes.
I have to tell you, true story. We invented
No,
this name.
literally.
Go ahead.
It was a random corner, right? And then I think in parentheses I said near Snow Queen School.
Hey, back. Okay.
Welcome
Wait,
back.
go back to the parentheses part because you froze.
You have to back
Oh,
up.
I'm sorry. That's that Myanmar internet. No, I said like in parentheses, it's like next to Snow Queen School, literally. And then the guy will come and he'll stand outside the school and call. And then I'll just like wave out the window and then they come up to me.
That is quite a system.
So we had two sisters visit our meeting on Saturday from Mexico City. They were in Mexico City. They don't live in Mexico City. They live in like the vicinity of it. They're really nice. We had a Bethel speaker on Saturday. So the girls were saying like, I don't know how it came up, but it was like their address, like how the addresses were. I actually asked them if they knew you.
Yes.
Because I moved down to Mexico. She was like, no, she said, I don't know them. We moved like, she was like telling me around a little bit. But she was like, in our building, we all have the same address. And we were like, what do you mean? We were like, what if you order? Do you have Amazon? She's like, oh yeah, we have Amazon in Mexico. Yeah, definitely. She's like, so we were like, how do you get your packages? And she's like, well, my sister made signs, and so if we order something from Amazon, we hang out like an Amazon sign outside our window, or we do something to differentiate like whose package it is, and we just got our stuff. And we were like, she was, yeah, because everyone just kind of numbered their house, and then sometimes they'll be like, well, you'll be 4A this year, I will be 4B.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, it was
That's
so
ridiculous.
funny.
That's ridiculous. Guys, thank you for asking questions. Use the question sticker at the bottom so this way we make sure your question gets answered. They scroll by really fast and we can't keep up. It's too much. Let's do a picture before we do another question.
All right, 1 second. Pictures.
Do a picture. Do the third one there.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
All right.
All right, what's going on here? What's this picture all about?
Is that ice?
Okay. So, this is I don't know if I should, hopefully this doesn't offend anybody, but anyway, it's a temple, right? Like it's a super old Buddhist temple that they don't use for work anymore. But it's there and everybody likes it for photo ops. So I went there with some friends and they're like, hey, pretend to be looking down at nothing and we're going to take this picture. And that's exactly what happened.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great picture. I think if you're offended by somebody going in to look at a building, maybe you should worry about that on your own time.
We went when we were in Thailand last year. We went same thing. Like we went like an art walk tour, and because you know this because you live in another country, and if you've ever been to another country, like the church is always like a part of architecture. Like it's mission. This is like days of yore, like missionaries would come and build schools and stuff. So the same thing. So now like they don't use them for that, but they have these like insane buildings. So we go on this tour. And the guide brings us in, and same thing. It was an old temple like years ago, but now it's just like this incredible architecture. But they have wax statues of monks that had died.
That was a little uncomfortable.
And we walked in, I was like, are they alive? And then we were like getting like really close to them. Like I was like, like looking at the eyeballs and stuff, and the tour guide's no. He's like, no, there's just some famous monks that like.
I thought they said they were still alive and they just had wax figures made of them.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's what I remember, but I could be wrong.
And I told the sister that we met, and she was like, I find them fascinating. She was like, I think that they're so fascinating. Like it was all part of this like art instruction.
I probably
would
would
have Chiang Mai.
I think as long as you're not wishing me anything there.
All right. So how do we take the pictures under this?
Yep.
All right.
And, now I'll pick a question.
All right, questions. Let's go back to the question board here. this is cute right here. Hey, cousin. So what food do you miss from Jersey, USA that you absolutely can't get there?
Oh man.
We love food on Friday night.
Peanut butter, right? It's peanut butter.
So I was gonna say bagels, but now that I've learned how to make bagels, but honestly, like, you know, there's something about going into a deli and you see all of these bagels, and even though I know I'm gonna choose the same one every time, I really look at all of them. Like, I think I'll have, and I know it's trying to pick. It's just the, you know. So like, yeah, bagels, but I make those. I miss pizza, like a good slice of pizza, like really.
Yeah. Pizza's a tough one, especially because you're from New Jersey and you're from New York and New Jersey, and you know, even in the US, like you, and no shade at the flyover states in the Midwest, hey friends. But legit have been places people like, we're gonna bring you to our pizzeria, and then you're like, I'm not feeling this. So
sometimes it's Pizza Hut, or sometimes it's like pizza from like
Papa John's,
BJ's or something, and you're like, what is this? Like, I mean, I get it. Also, like, we're used to brick oven. We have a certain standard of pizza that we expect to be met.
There is, and I feel like really bougie, you know. But and up here where I live, because I live in this new town, and there isn't even like a pizza place. Like where I used to live, there was one which was tolerable, but up here, and I miss like all of it. You know what it is? I think all the unhealthy stuff. Like I want a good juicy burger. Like I want a chocolate lava cake. Like, you know, things like that are good for you, but that's exactly what
it's like comfort food where you're like, we have our anniversary is coming up, and we have a very favorite pizzeria, two favorite pizzerias in the city, and we have a gift card from 2 years ago, which we've never used because
we lost it.
We lost it for a minute, but we found it. It's all good.
We lost it.
And because of the restrictions, we're just not like feeling sitting in the restaurant, but we have, you know, basically formulated a plan where we will like go order the pizza, we will like put it in the car, we will drive it back to Jersey. You know what I mean? Like you have to formulate the plan, but it is that serious with pizza. So I understand.
It is. I do miss it. I do.
All right. Let's see what else here. More questions are coming in.
Actually, more questions are coming in. That's really good.
Oh yeah. What? Well, we kind of did the food one. Oh, here we go. This is one time I saw you on TV yelling at people. That is not really.
No, that's true. That's true.
No, but that's not really a question.
I have a picture. Hold on. I think we might have a.
You know, Dancing is yelling. She wasn't yelling. She was standing up for what's right.
It looks like. Wait. Can we move us? We can't move ourselves.
We can't move ourselves.
No, our little head is there. Oh, we swapped that.
Oh, that's new.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. It looks right here. If you haven't seen this before, Monique is yelling at people in the middle of Hoboken.
No, she's not yelling.
No, she's yelling. Why don't you go ahead?
Definitely wasn't yelling, though. I definitely wasn't yelling. For sure, I wasn't yelling.
No, she was. No. Oh, it's back.
I learned a lesson about TV editing, though. You know.
Yeah.
First, and I didn't know. Like I didn't know until I was like, that's not really how it happened, though. And I said this before. I said that. I'm pretty sure, but then you know, it is what it is. But I didn't yell at the people. It was just kind of like a, you know.
No, you were
I'm glad you stood. You said what you said.
Up. You stood up for somebody, and I respect that always.
For people who are not familiar, can you tell us the story?
Oh, okay. So I think everyone has heard of that show, right, on ABC? Like,
I've never heard of that show.
What would you do?
No. So they have these real situations with this guy named John Quinones, right? And I love this guy. I used to watch that show all the time. So they have real situations, but then they make these mock situations to see what people would do. And apparently this woman in Brooklyn died. Like she was pregnant and the paramedics didn't help her because they were on their break. So they set it up in Hoboken, right? Like to see what would happen. So this particular day, it was a beautiful sunny day and I decided to take an early lunch. Like I was in a good mood and I wanted to take an early lunch. So I left, just walking up the street, minding my business, and a lady just drops on the ground. Like she just falls right beside me. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like this lady just passed out.
Yeah.
And people were walking by and I'm thinking like, I gotta help this lady. Like, I'm like, are you okay? And when I look up, I see paramedics. This is exactly what happened. I see the paramedics. I go to the paramedics and I ask them for help. And they were like, we're on break. And I'm like, are you serious? So I called 911. But you know, they also alert the police officers in the area when they're doing
Yeah.
the show. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
Because it was, what would you do?
Yeah, yeah. So I called 911 and they tell me to do all of these things, which now that I think about it, it seems really weird. But I was really scared, you know. But they didn't show all of this on that show, which was really frustrates me. Because at the end, I have one earring in my ear looking like a psycho on national television, but they don't show why. Because while I'm on the phone with the operator, she tells me, hey, is the woman breathing? And I said, you know, I really don't know if she's breathing. It's really faint. So the operator says, put your head on her chest. So when I put my head on my chest, my earring got stuck. But because I was so nervous, I didn't really care. I didn't decide to, you know, I put it back in. So then, you know, I decided to cover the lady up because, you know, she's lady, she's dressed in, I don't know. But they didn't show any of that. They only showed me approaching these paramedics and like looking for a police. I look like a psycho, but it is what it is.
You should like definitely write them a letter and be like, I want all the B-roll.
It's really,
That's a good idea.
And you know, after that though, like after that, I went back to my job and they sent me home because I was hysterical. Like it for a moment because I thought it was real, you know.
Yeah.
So this and then like I go back to my job and even though you know that it's fake after that, I think everything came out and I was just in there crying and they're like, you should go home early today. I'm like, thank you.
You're like, thank you, John Quinones, and for the adrenaline that's now pumping through my veins.
And if you guys haven't seen it,
so weird because when that John Quinones guy came, it was the second time that the operator told me to check her breathing, right? So I go down, and as I have my ear like close to this lady's chest is when his big foot comes down. And I look up, and it's a microphone. He's like, hi, my name is John Quinones, and you're on What Would You Do? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this is a joke?
No,
that's absurd.
That's like you're full sweating adrenaline. Like I would be full sweat. I'd be like,
yeah.
What do you mean this is what would you do? You know what I mean? That takes a minute. That takes a while to.
So if you haven't seen this clip, go find it on YouTube. And you won't get the whole story, but you got the whole story now. So now you kind of have a little context.
It's okay.
But I promise you, I don't think that I was yelling at the people at all. I just think that it seems that way. Because of the way that they set it up. I definitely.
I've known you for like a really long time, and I've never seen you yell at anybody. Like I think you were like 14 when I met you, so I really don't think that like you've ever yelled at anybody. Passionate.
Really yell.
You know the meme where it's like I am like it's like I can't be calm. I'm from New Jersey. It's like one of those things. Like sometimes the way that we just naturally speak in New Jersey. Like, to other people in other areas is like, whoa, calm down. You're like, calm down. This isn't even like what it could be. Like I'm just passionately telling you what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, see, you were fine.
Totally
exactly
fine.
In the comments. We know you were fine. All right, let's see. Here we go. Hey Monique, you still a single sister? You know I had to be that sister.
Okay,
that's
not a question, but okay, we'll take it. That's very
also don't have to answer. You don't.
I don't answer it. Yeah, I last time I checked. Yeah.
Single
single.
and beautiful.
I don't know. She's looking for some suggestions in the world.
Really weird. Guys,
All
you
right.
have questions?
I know who that was.
Push the question button if you have a question.
Okay. Do you still enjoy apple skins? Oh.
Specific question.
That's now you can probably get apple skins in Myanmar. So
I do. Okay. So people like to peel their fruit here, right? Which I get it, whatever. But I buy fruit and I just highly, for a really, really long time, disinfect everything. And I like apple skins. Like that's where all of the fiber and the vitamin is, right? Like I don't know. I don't understand peeling fruit. I don't know. I feel the skin with the fruit unless you're eating an orange or something. I don't know. But
or like a banana.
I love. Well, no, not banana skin.
Yeah,
just apple. Yeah, I eat the whole apple, but I didn't realize that a lot of people like to peel their apple and eat it that way.
Eat the whole thing. Like I love the apple skin, like a good skin.
Yeah, I love it.
I get it. Oh, Dan wants me to do photos. Hold on a second. If you have more questions, put them in the question box because we'll get the cue. This one?
Yeah. What's going on in this picture? It looks like you're cutting your grass with a pair of scissors. What?
Okay, guys. I have never cut grass a day in my life, like ever. I never cut grass, right? So when I moved here was the first time that I cut grass. And we were cleaning our hall. And they're like, okay, who wants to do the grass? I volunteered because I was really excited. Like, I'm going to cut grass. And then they handed me these tools, and I was like, what is this? And so that is pretty much how it happened. Yeah, I had to go around and chop, 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 chop. And then on the ends, there was a board and I guess a machete type thing to do the edge up, to make the end of it the edges of it look straight.
It's probably like an extremely precise lawn too. Like I feel like that's probably one of the most incredible lawns you'll ever see.
Probably. That was in my old home. Yeah, but that was the first day I ever cut grass in my life, and I was so excited. I was like, this is amazing. But then I realized that's not how you cut grass back in the States. Like, everyone has a lawn.
You need a gas-powered, electric-powered.
I don't know, because there were some Italians in our old territory on Staten Island, and you would go, and like the little old Italian man would physically be outside with like this edger, like doing his grass on Saturday morning. Like, it was like, it's a very Italian thing to have like a pristinely manicured front lawn with like, lion statues. So he'd be like out there like, so maybe.
Yeah, I have some talent. It's an interesting experience.
Oh, here we go. We have a two-parter. All right, here we go. Where is it? I just lost it. Part 1. Okay. Can you tell the story about the lady who you helped? All right. Can you tell the story about the lady who you helped, who, when arriving at the hospital, let's see. Here we go. Thought you worked for the UN.
Okay. So
can you tell that story? Are you comfortable telling that story now?
Yeah, why not? Okay. So the story about the lady happened like 1 week after the whole John Quinones thing, right? So I think my nerves on.
No, you're not. You're lying.
No, I'm for real.
You never
told me that. Yeah, so it's crazy. So like a week later, I'll never forget this day because it was a Giants game day, and I needed to go. You guys know the Polonials, right? Yeah. I needed to drop off at their house, right? So my mom's like, you really shouldn't go out the house looking like that because you look crazy. And it was Sunday football day, right? So I didn't look. I probably looked like this, but I didn't look nice, But I had a Giants jersey on, and some sweatpants and probably like Tim's, and I put on a hoodie because it was a little cold. And so I was like, I'm just going to drop these things off at Polonials and come back. So while I was in the car driving, I was on the phone with my old roommate from Mexico. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden I said, oh my gosh, but I didn't realize it because I swerved because a carpet fell out of a van, So I swerved because I didn't want to hit this carpet, right? But it scared me because whatever. So I pulled over because I literally almost got into an accident. I'm just kind of catch my breath. And then, I don't know why, I look in my rearview mirror and I realized that the thing that fell out wasn't a thing, but it was a somebody, So.
Don Quinones?
Yeah, it was a somebody.
What's wrong?
And so I noticed it was like a person pushing this thing with their foot, AKA kicking it. I'm like, oh, this is not good. Like, what is going on? And then again, I'm not gonna say you, but I wasn't thinking, like, I instantly go into this mode where I gotta help people, right? Because I feel like something bad is happening. Mm-hmm. So I jumped out of my car to see what was going on, and it was literally a man kicking a lady, like he was kicking her. So as I got closer and closer, I realized that this person that he's kicking is an older lady. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I've never seen anybody beating up an old person before like this. It was crazy. So I ran and I screamed and I'm like, stop it, And I was on Ford's Avenue, by the way. Like, I was on Ford's Avenue, heading towards, where the Route 1, where you cross over Route 1.
Yeah.
We have friends who live over there. It's a sketchy part of town.
Yeah, but then it was kind of dark that day. I don't know why the street lights weren't really working. So anyway, I run over and I scream at this guy. I'm like, stop it, and he stops in his tracks and he's in the street. So as I said, stop, like, then he looked at me and he started walking towards me, and I'm like, I don't even know who this man is, and what did I get myself into? Yeah. The whole time I didn't know that I never hung up my phone, right? Like, I had a hoodie on, so my phone was in the front pocket and I had an earpiece in, right? So I didn't realize that I never turned it off. So my friend that was on the phone heard the whole, like, she heard everything that was happening. Glad. Yeah. Yes. That's important. Yeah. So this guy is walking toward me. The owner of the house that I was standing in front of, they came out, and the husband ran and tackled this guy. This is real story. Like, this is not a movie.
No, I know. I'm glad you're telling it.
And he screams, call 911. So when my friend heard the man say call 911, she hung up and called my parents because she's like, so anyway, there's another side of that story. So before I called 911, I pulled the lady out of the street. Like I said, it was a little bit dark where we were, so I couldn't really see everything, but I can tell that she was crying or whatever. So once I get her out of the street, I was sitting on the ground and she was leaning against me, you know. And I called 911 and I told them, hey, I'm on Ford's Avenue, and looked at the house number. And so they came like within a few minutes. And so anyway, when the police arrived, you know, they come and they have their flashlights. And when the cop shines his light on me, I have blood on my shirt. So now I look suspect, right? Like there's an old lady, she's bleeding and crying. She's on me on the ground and I have blood on my shirt. So he's like, what's going on? And I'm trying to tell him this story. I told him everything that happened. So there's like 2 police officers. I'm still on the ground and there's 2 police officers that are there. And then all of a sudden my dad shows up and I'm like, what? How did he get here? And I didn't know that my friend called my dad.
Like, Bernie! Like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good that you were on the phone because then she could call them.
Yes. So when she heard the guy scream, call 911, she wasn't sure if I was in an accident or what happened. So she called my dad and he knew exactly where I was going. So he went, you know, that way. So he shows up and the police officers are like, do you know him? I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. And you're like, how does he know you're here? I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, I'm explaining to them what's happening. This lady doesn't speak English, right? She only speaks Chinese. And so I had to lie to this lady, right, to make her get into an ambulance. Like I told her I would go with her to the hospital, but I wasn't gonna go with her to the hospital. So the police are questioning me. So then the officers are like, how did you even get here? I'm like, I was driving and I swerved. And they're like, where's your car? And so I'm like, where is my car? And then I realized it was still down the street. So then the police officer's like, okay, we're going to take your statement, but we want to walk to your car. So now I'm scared. I'm like, oh no, like this looks really suspect.
Yeah.
So he walks me to my car, you know, gets my information, takes my ID. So then he's like, I just have a lot of questions. He's like, why are you speaking Chinese? And I'm like, oh. And I told him, like, hey, Mama Joe's with Chinese. I learned Chinese.
You have to like reflect on the fact that like
yes,
this insane
it's like
scene just happened, but he's like, why do you speak Chinese?
Exactly. Because in order to communicate with the lady, they needed me to speak to her in Chinese because she couldn't speak English. So he's like, why do you even speak Chinese? So I tell him and he's like, interesting. So then he, you know, he's taking a statement and then he says to me, I just want to tell you, I don't think it's a coincidence that you're here. I think maybe your God or somebody sent you here. And I'm like, okay, well, sure. Can I go back now? My dad was still up at the ambulance and the ambulance was there because the lady was having like a crazy panic attack, right? Yeah. So I get back over to the truck and they're like, this lady's crying and screaming, can you calm her down? And I said, sure, no problem. So I get into the ambulance and as I'm sitting in the back of the ambulance, the lady's cheek finally calms down and all of a sudden she starts screaming again. And I'm like, what is it? You know? And she's like, he smiles because he says he's going to do something bad. And I'm like, he's going to do something bad? What do you mean? I don't want to say what she said, right?
Yeah.
So when I turned around, like I looked at this guy and the police had him, but they had, you know, his hands were behind his back, but he was staring at through the back of the ambulance.
Oh,
and he had a weird grin on his face. So even I was scared. So I jumped out of the back and I told the police, look, she said he's smiling because this is what he said he's going to do. So at that time, they got really rough with him and they put him on the hood of the car. So they were like, tell him, like they said, tell him to tell us where he lives. And I said, they want to know where you live. And he started laughing at me. And at that point, I realized he speaks English. So I said to him in Chinese, I know you speak English. And he said to me, yeah, I know you know. So anyway, then they just threw him in the back of the car. And that was that. Like they go away, the police officers tell me that I can leave. So I leave, you know. But so I get to the Polonial's house and I'm like, going all scared and stuff. My dad was with me. And then we get back home. So then now I'm paranoid because I'm like something, you know, what happened to the lady? So I get to work the next day and I couldn't focus because I'm thinking, what happened to this lady? So I decided to call the hospitals. I called JFK. I called, and then I called into Perth Amboy. And that's where she was. But they were like, you're the girl. And I'm like, sure, I guess. What girl? They're like, you have to come. Are you the one that found the lady? I said, yeah. And they said, well, you have to come. So after work, I went and picked up my dad. We went to the hospital. And when I got there, they're like, are you the girl from United Nations? And I'm like, no, I'm not. like, what makes you think I'm from the United Nations? They were like, there's some girl that speaks Chinese and she was helping a lady and she must be from the United Nations. I'm like, no, I'm from Keysby. I saw the lady. And then they were like, well, we need you to go talk to her because she won't talk to anybody else but you. So they take me in because they put her in a psych hold because they said they thought she was like suicide hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I went in, then they sent me in and they sent the caseworker in with me. And then then after that I went away for a little while because I was scared. Like every time I saw a white man, I thought that they were after me. You know, I saw Rush Hour and I just just like
So,
like
we actually have a special surprise for you. We're about to bring on to the live stream the Chinese lady. No,
oh my God, stop
Can you imagine if I did though? That would be sick. If I had that little lady.
John Quinones.
And she was like, ni hao. And I'd be like, what is happening right now?
No, but it's a real story, guys. Like
It's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah,
in general, like in life, of like some like I also like I have one of my girlfriends has an incredible story about like, you know, being like because you know you learn to speak Chinese for Jehovah and to witness to people and like it not only saves someone's life like was a witness but it physically saves someone's life like her ability to communicate and I'm so glad you told it and I did not realize though it was right in tandem with John Quinones and what happened in Jersey City. I didn't know that in Hoboken. I didn't know
later.
So close.
1 week later, so I was like traumatized. Yeah,
you were like
to get away for a little
the
while.
adrenaline. I know it's crazy. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Oh, here you go. Are you learning Burmese? If so, come visit the group in our congregation. Aw, that's cool.
I yeah, so I'm in a Burmese congregation now. Actually, I've been Chinese. Now I'm in the Burmese congregation who's supporting our Chinese group. So now I have to do both. So whoever that is, I would love to come visit.
I'll send you the message. I'll text. You're on the gram again? You're on Instagram, right?
She's talking right now.
No, I know, but I didn't know if you just came on for the show or not. All right, I'll message you. Yeah,
no, yeah, I'm here.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool. All right, let's see what else. Yeah. All right, here we go. How long have you been there? That's a really good question.
I've been here for 6 years now. Yeah.
What?
It's so
I
crazy.
Time
goes so fast.
I can't believe it's 6 years. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been 6 years now. It went by so fast, like really, really fast. But you know.
We went to our going away party. Dan said, "What going away party?"
Wait.
I was like, "We have photos together
Where was that?
with Pat Murray."
Where was that?
It was, you were there. You were there.
It was at the Monarch. Look at his face. He's like, "What?"
I don't remember that at all.
He's like, I don't remember that.
I
That's
know.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. All right.
I remember brain doors.
The background. My neighbor has a killer dog.
I don't remember any of that.
What is this one? The rest of the people in the drama are waiting for you so we can start. Stop it. Stop it.
Remember that?
Funny. Power outages will never work when you're at the hair salon. I've been there and then have that happen. Oh my God. All right.
I never forget
Moving
that.
on. Here we go. Food
So
question. A lot of
bad.
food questions. What food or restaurants do you wish you could bring from New Jersey if you had to DoorDash those bad boys? That's a good one.
Food or restaurants? You know, a little bit of Chipotle. I know it's Chipotle.
Chipotle.
I also said Chipotle, and I will never, ever not remember that. She's like, I love Chipotle. It's like Taco Bell, but classier. And I was like, Nala, it's Chipotle. She's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's Chipotle. Anyway,
Feel like it is now.
I do miss Chipotle. I'm not gonna lie. And I think we already talked about this. Like any sort of pizzeria, like from the East Coast. Like if I could just get like a good slice of pizza, like I would literally order a slice. Although I mean, who am I kidding? I would eat a pie.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Some Chipotle, some pizza, some. I miss Italian food. Like I just you know what it is. I miss variety. So at this point, I think I'd take anything. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Like, yeah, there's certain things like we were talking about a few weeks ago. With Tina was on, we were talking about like Mexican food. Like Mexican food in Southern California is just bomb. Like we're not obviously going there, but like whenever we are out there, we like get off the plane and I'm like, okay, I want to go to like was it Del Taco or Baja Taco? Whatever was at her wedding. Whatever food was at her wedding, it was like, the first place we go. We get off the plane because it's just I don't know, you're there and it's regional and it's wonderful.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
go
like I do miss Mexican food. I really, really do. Like,
all right.
No,
This one?
no.
That's it. Our dances, we did all the pictures. Hold on. 1 second. And now question was, we had some late entries. Here we go. Well, here you go. We can, you can, we can close this out by reintroducing yourself. Who is your special guest? That's adorable. So for those that may have just showed up,
If you're just joining our live stream, welcome.
where are you from? This is better question.
for those that just showed up. Yeah, Monique. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's really nothing that interesting. I mean, you miss all, if you just showed up, you miss all the interesting stuff.
How did the name Rosita come about? I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
Rosita. Oh, that's what my mom. We had. You ever like think that you have too many stories in life and like nobody's gonna believe this? Like they must make these up. No, this stuff is real.
This is the best.
So my mom had this aunt, right? She's like 90 something, and you know, she was the last living relative of my grandfather, like my mom's dad. So for some reason, she had my mom's name written down, and when she was really, really old and sick, and the paramedics team was like, "We need to send you to live with somebody," and it was us. So she came to live with us, but like she would forget our names like multiple times a day. So my mom's name went from Dolores to Rose. My name was Girl, my brother was Boy, and my dad was the Mister. It was like the Mister, Girl, Boy, and Rose. So we just decided to spice it up, you know. It's like Rose, I can call her Rosita, and that's pretty much where Rosita came from.
That's adorable.
That's hilarious.
That's a great story. That's a fantastic story.
Crazy.
That's a lot of fun.
Monique, this has been great having you on. If you are watching this live stream, we do this every Friday night at 8 o'clock. We interview our friends. It's really a blast. If you have questions, send them in ahead of time. If you would like to be on the live stream, send me a direct message. I'll send you the application. You can fill it all out, give us your info, and we can coordinate it. And if you are home during the pandemic and you're thinking like, I wonder if I could do something to help people or give back, check on your extroverted friends because we are not okay. We might seem like we're okay. We're like, yeah, you know, we're doing, we have food, we have water, but we're not okay. We definitely need that human contact and interaction because it is really boring at home. Like, I mean, I'm glad to be home, but it's super boring.
Those of us that are introverted, we're thriving. But those that are extroverted have a little bit of a hard time.
I'm gonna tell you, every time the mailman comes, I'm like, hey man, do you want to chat? And he's like, no. And he keeps going. And it's horrific.
He's like running down the street, like, take your packages. Dad's like, do you want a drink?
I'm like,
I
just made
gotta
coffee.
go.
Yeah. So check on your extrovert. It's for the love of all that is good. And next
The
guest.
Amazon guy comes in, like, can I make you coffee? And he's like, no. He's literally like flipping packages as he like runs down the aisle.
So my secret is I found where all the UPS guys eat lunch together. They eat lunch in like a little quad area. And I go over there and I'm like, hey guys, about that time, huh? Lunchtime. And they're like, yeah. And because obviously they know me, they come here all the time. And I'm trying to get them in the house. And so like, you know, I try to talk with them. I'm really desperate for human contact.
You know, because I don't know if you know where we live, but in Woodbridge, there's a park area that runs through the back of our yard, right? So he figures this out a few months ago, and then the other day he's like, there's a 5th UPS guy that showed
I was
up.
super excited.
So like there was 4 that I'm like, oh, we gotta get you like errands in the day. I gotta send you errands.
No.
Yeah, it's bad. I feel bad for my coworkers on teams.
This was fun though.
Monique, this has been great.
Be
Thank you
safe.
so much for coming on.
Love you. I'm happy to see you that you're thriving.
I love you guys so much. It was fun. I was super nervous, by the way. I was freaking out. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not like that. And if you missed the show, you can watch the replay. It'll be on my IGTV, and you can watch it at your anytime you want.
Your leisure.
But you missed the little question box, so that's why it's good to watch it live, so that you can see the questions as they come up. Otherwise,
got it.
You read the questions. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
I try to read them like because I know in the I actually, truth be told, will like watch the playback because I sometimes miss during I miss like what's going on during the show, even though I'm here and present. But we do miss like we get the thread is gone when you put it up.
Yeah, we miss all the comments. It's kind of annoying.
Instagram has to work on that. I told them to submit a query.
I can see it, but I try to not get distracted because I'm like, if I look down, am I gonna miss a question? Or I don't know.
Can see it.
Can you scroll through the comments? We can scroll through the comments.
I can like currently I can see comments coming in.
But you can't scroll them?
but I'm also not really good at multitasking. So I'm like, oh wait, let me pay attention.
I mean, look,
You guys are-
this is actually good. This is
That's
a great. This is
bad.
a
That would
great
be really
way.
awkward.
Oh, John said shout out. Hey, John. John, look. Do you see? See the color change? No more Archie Bunker.
I didn't even know what is.
Let me see real quick because I can go through. I love the 70s and the 80s, so 60s and 70s. So it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Somebody wants you to come visit Kansas City. I don't know what that's about.
Kansas City.
Some people say that this Chinese situation is the reason that you had to move out of the United States. So they do it that way. Bands.
Is that the real? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it's like, that's how.
there's a lot going on here.
No, it was John Quinones. It was because it all started with John Quinones.
Oscar says we'll meet up if we're masked and we're 6 feet away. We'll
Aw.
do it.
Kelly says, "Hey, cousin."
Yeah, this is good stuff.
I'm just doing it for you because we don't want you to like Monique. My mom says hi. Wants to know why she's there. Mom, we'll take it offline. Let me say her. Just a lot of awesome love, which is
just a lot
the
of love.
best.
Thanks, guys. That means a lot.
This
I
is
really
great
appreciate that.
and makes it happy because Friday night, like we're all
We're just home.
isolated, but we don't have to be alone. So
Yep.
That's true.
Monique, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for doing this with
tell
us.
your mom and dad we said hi too.
Guys, I'm gonna hang up now before the loud music comes. You know, the garbage trucks play music. They play songs, so I'm gonna.
Oh.
It's a little weird.
You're like, I can hear him. He's coming down the street.
You should put that in the video. I'm ready for that.
Okay. All right, love. See you later.
Thank
See
you.
you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.